Who wants to get some cleaning done with me today? I don't know about you, but my house is an absolute disaster. So I thought, why don't I just turn on the camera, go around my house, organize it, clean it, get all these little mundane tasks done that I need to do. There are several reasons why this needs to happen today, and we can get into that later. But if you are looking for somebody to keep you busy while you too do some work around the house, and also if you want to get a little like real-time update on some of the things around the house, because this is like live. We are September 13th right now. So this is like, if you've been following with the regular house renovation videos, we are jumping out of that timeline and coming into the present moment, which is usually something I reserve only for my patrons. But I'm not really going to be giving away any huge big secrets in this video, just like fun little updates. So if you want to kind of follow along with that as well, that's going to be like your fun little secret tidbit reward for tuning in on the second channel, I guess. So let's start upstairs in the bedroom where I can get everything together, and then also talk to you about why exactly it is that I am doing this video now in this moment, because it's kind of got a fun backstory. So this is basically, for the most part, going to be just a really chatty video. I am intending that most of you are going to be listening to this more than watching it necessarily, but I will try to do a good job if there is something important visual on screen to prompt you so you know to look. But other than that, I'm not going to worry about editing it too much, because I figure that you're going to be busy working as I'm busy working. Here we are in the bedroom with a corgi. So like I said, we're going to be starting off in the bedroom, because the first thing I think I need to do is go around and do a load of laundry. I don't know how this happens. We've only been at the house for 2.5 days, and somehow there is still an entire load of laundry that needs to be done. So I'm going to be going around and cleaning some of this laundry, and at the same time telling you why exactly it is that I am stuck here at the house doing laundry when it feels like there are just so many other things that need to be done. One thing I will definitely say that I want to change about, the exposure on this is so off. There we go. Look at this little snoot. Such a cute little snoot. One thing I will say that I want to modify about this bedroom, because in general I am loving it. If you're a patron, I did have that whole video going around talking about the bedroom and what I like about it and what I want to improve about it. And one thing I want to add on to that video is I do want to get something here. For context, I'm on my side of the bed. Here's the bed here, and the door to the room is right here. And I always find myself with this giant pile of clothes right here on the side of the bed, because what happens is I come in and I take off clothes that are only lightly worn, things that don't need to be washed, things that can be worn a second time, and I just throw them on the floor. If they're dirty, they're usually dirty enough that I put them right in the laundry bin here, which lives against that wall back there. But a lot of my things are not dirty enough that they need to be washed immediately. Now, I'm quite lucky I don't sweat that much, so unless we're doing really, really dirty work in the house, oftentimes I can get away with, especially like pants, wearing them a few days in a row before I need to wash them. Or like my pajamas, I wear pajamas days and days and days before they need to be washed. And that's like a whole separate tangent I could go on about how I feel like there is a culture of washing clothes too much unnecessarily. Like, I feel like there's people don't always necessarily check if their clothes actually need to be washed, and kind of just, I've worn it once, it goes in the laundry, which like for several people have different levels of body odor and people sweat at different rates. So like for some people that is probably actually 100% legit, but I just feel like it's sometimes good to do a little check and be like, do I actually need to wash this? Because I'm lucky and I don't always have to wash stuff. And so therefore I do have fast fashion clothes from over a decade ago that I still wear on a regular basis. So that was the first of probably many tangents. But my point was that all of those clothes end up just in a big pile over here. And it would be really nice to have like a little something. I don't quite have room for a full armchair here. I know that's the classic, like in a bedroom you have an armchair you throw clothes on. Don't have room for that here, but I'm thinking like maybe some sort of like little skinny bench that maybe I could paint really cute, and it could go here. Otherwise, I was thinking something that hangs on the wall and has hooks, and then I could hang clothes on it, which I do like to do because then they can kind of air out a little bit more, because they're still clean enough I can wear them a second day, but it is nice if they can air out a little bit. So anyway, that is one thing I've been thinking about for an improvement for this room. On the agenda, I've been keeping my eyes out, I've been marinating. If you've got great ideas for me, feel free to throw them down in the comments. This is very much a topic in which I am open to suggestion and advice. But anyway, we're gonna start with this pile of clothes and sort through them as I talk to you about why I'm here and why I'm doing laundry and why I'm a little bit stranded. Those are some really cute thrifted moccasins, by the way. I've really been loving them. They're Minnetonka. They're really hard to find Minnetonka moccasins these days, and I found some in the thrift store in my size, so you better bet that I snatched them up. So the whole reason that I am spending today doing chores is, one, because I swear every time we leave the house, we leave it in a state of complete chaos. It's like we get here and we have such limited time here that we just feel obligated to make the most best possible use of it and do all the things that are essential, and then we work up until the very last minute and don't take like the day before we leave to actually leave things in good order and straighten them out. So it looks, every time we come back, it looks like a tornado has completely hit the house. So that's part of the reason that I'm spending today cleaning, because it just needs to be cleaned and straightened out, and I feel like that's going to just really help the situation and make everything, you know, a neat living area helps my brain be a little bit more organized. But there's another reason, but I think I need to mute my phone first. So the other reason that I am doing this today is because I am literally stranded here. So what happened is, I mean, you're probably gonna get a whole rundown of this in maybe about 3 to 4 weeks time. Who knows? I don't know where this is gonna fall in the schedule, but basically I'm gonna spend a lot of October on the main channel, kind of in much more real time, to be honest, because I freaking love spooky season and I kind of want to get just some like fun, cozy autumn vibes, maybe a little Halloween stuff in there. I want to like seize the season. Carpe Seasum over here. So I'm gonna like take a break in the current storyline of the house to jump to the present moment, just for like some small little segments. And I think this whole car saga is actually going to be part of that, because that is how we kicked off this trip to the house, is that 150 kilometers away from our house, that's a little bit more than an hour. It was like an hour and, well, it's almost an hour and a half. An hour and 20 minutes outside of the house, our car broke down. And by broke down, I mean the transmission basically exploded. Now, we'd been having trouble with the transmission already. I had it replaced back in the spring when we were here, but then we basically didn't use it because, as you will know, we were in Norway for several months this summer. So basically I got a new transmission and then drove back to Montreal. Didn't do really any other driving on it, and then drove back here. And it wasn't a new transmission, it was a used transmission, like a spare part, because again, I literally could not afford anything else. And the irony of it was that actually we had to order it from a company here in the area. I mean, I use the term in the area lightly. It was actually like an hour away from where I live. Again, Nova Scotia, everyone is like really spread out. There aren't a lot of big cities. But that being said, we finally found a place that would change our transmission, but they were like, okay, we don't have any parts anywhere in Nova Scotia. The only place that we can actually find a transmission that suits your car is from Quebec. So they literally shipped a transmission from Quebec, where we had literally just been a few weeks earlier, shipped it here, had to get it changed. So it was a used part already, but then we didn't drive on it hardly at all. Like, we did a couple trips here locally, and then we went back to Montreal, and instantly it got parked in Phil's father's garage and left there basically untouched for several months, and then we hopped back in the car and drove it here, and yeah, an hour and a half away from my house it broke down. And unfortunately this time I think that the transmission took the motor with it, because now in neutral I drive standard, not automatic. Even in neutral the wheels won't even roll. They're completely barred, they're locked. So now I'm in this like really awkward situation where I have to decide, do I try to fix it again? Or do I just give up on the car and get a new car? Because let me tell you, the list of things we have replaced on this car, it is a 2006. Toyotas are generally known to be very reliable, but like it's an old car and we have changed so much stuff on it already. I mean, we've changed it ourselves. The transmission was the only thing that we did not change ourselves, because transmissions are complicated and therefore they are also very expensive. I think we paid $900 for the transmission, and then we paid $1,500 in labor, because it is like, we watched videos to see if we could do it in ourselves. Really, it's like you have to remove so many things to get at the transmission of the car that like the labor cost is justified. So even if we're like sitting here, do we get a new transmission and then put it in this old car, and is it even worth it, or do we just cut our losses and get another new to me used car? So what happened is Phil is actually currently in Montreal right now. We threw him on a plane. He flew back to Montreal. He was already planning on doing this anyway. Like, we already had the ticket bought. Basically, he was gonna help me drive down here literally for this exact situation, in case something happened, in case the car broke down. And I'm so glad that he was there to help me walk through that, because like we needed two brains in that moment. So he's in Montreal right now. He is doing a little bit of work, and he's also simultaneously hunting for another car for me, ideally the same model, a Toyota Matrix. They are really good cars, and we're looking for another one with the 2.4 liter motor, because that's the one that is rated to tow things. So we are making sure that we are trying to get the correct motor so that we can get the trailer eventually. Unfortunately, this huge expense has not only meant that I probably can't get the trailer anytime soon, but it's also probably put a significant delay in our ability to get a new roof. That was actually the biggest bummer. I mean, besides the fact that it was a massive headache and a huge cost, it was also like that cost probably cost us the new roof. Like, we probably can't put one on. It's really pushed everything back, unfortunately. So that's where we're at. Let's go downstairs and throw all this in the laundry and continue this discussion elsewhere. Everyone loves a good corgi down the stairs. Okay, see, this is what I mean about the place looks like a tornado hit it. Like, we have not actually touched this area of the house since we arrived. Like, this is exactly how we left it, and it is terrible. It looks so bad. Like, and the problem also is that I need to get to the washer, which is right back here. Like, it is there, and I cannot reach it. There's so much stuff in the way. So I think we're gonna take a little detour to clear all this out, get some access to the washer dryer, and then we can continue our story. How about that? Meanwhile, Canelle is just dying to go outside and play. What do you want? Huh? What do you want? Show me what you want. All right, well, I think it's time for a little cleaning montage, so I'm gonna leave you here. I'm gonna work, and I'll probably see you again in like 5 seconds, let's say, once this is all cleared out. What is all this? Schmark. Car mats. Why do I have a bunch of rubber car mats? Like, I'm sure they'll be useful for something, but also why? Just why? Okay, first of all, I don't know if that actually was recording anything, but also I fully admit that I just shuffled most of that stuff around to other parts of my house to be cleaned at a later date. But one thing that I will do is I will actually sweep up this pile of dirt that we've got going on right here, because if I don't sweep it up now, I know it's just going to end up all over everywhere else on my house. So here's to not just sweeping everything under the bed, but actually doing a good job. What task are you doing that you wish you were avoiding? Okay, but see, now I'm actually faced with another problem, which is I don't actually know where the dustpan to the broom is. So now I have to wander around the house looking for a dustpan to sweep this up before I can get the clothes in the laundry, before I can then move on to cleaning another part of it. Like, it's just chaos. It's chaos. I'm gonna go find a dustpan. I'll be back in a sec. Then we can sweep up this mess. Aha! Dustpan acquired. Ta-da! Well, I'm proud to report we now officially have access to the washing machine. So I'm going to do one really quick round around my house, see if there's anything else laying around. Inevitably, I'm sure there will be. I have finally made my way to the washing machine, where I have found a pair of dirty work pants. Can you hear the sand and schmoo just falling to the ground? So apparently past me left these here thinking they probably needed to be cleaned. So I guess that's gonna be the first thing to officially go in this load. Ta-da! Are y'all fragrance detergent people, or are you fragrance free? What are the preferences? This one I've got Morning Breeze. I don't know that it smells like a morning breeze, but it sure smells a heck of a lot better than what's in the washing machine now. Boy, this needs a wash. So I thought originally I was going to do dishes next. However, I realized that you wouldn't be able to hear a word I said because the washing machine is literally right on the other side of the wall from the kitchen. So instead, while the laundry is running, I'm going to go back up in the bedroom and just straighten things out here because it does need a little bit of a cleaning situation. I'm sorry, did you want to come in? Come in. Wait. Oh yeah, just make yourself right at home. You're gonna make it awfully hard for me to make the bed. Yeah. How am I gonna make the bed when there's such an adorable little critter on it? This is the struggle. This is the daily struggle. Oh hi. Oh hi. I don't suppose you want to go like hide under the bed while I make it, do you? Hmm? Look at this silly critter. Whoa, look at this silly critter. Woof, 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 woof. Okay, little Peanut, can I get you off the bed? Can I get you off the bed? Yeah, so basically I am stranded here with no way of getting around. Now, I have talked to neighbor Mike and neighbor Tim and Ronnie, and all three of them, like, they got the rundown on the situation. All three of them have, of course, very nicely volunteered to let me use their car, and I will take them up on that if I need to. But also, I'm gonna admit I don't like being a bother. Ooh, the hair. I feel bad to like go and ask them to borrow their cars. Like, they're working, I don't know. So I am not technically stranded. If I needed to get somewhere, I could, but I have hesitated to ask to borrow their cars, especially because there is one place to get food nearby that I can eat, and also, oh my god, talk about amazing timing. I had ordered some Factor, you know, the meal delivery company. I did a sponsorship with them, I think about a month ago at this point. And I actually really genuinely enjoyed the food, and I was like, you know what, this is gonna be perfect for when we're at the house, because it's good food, it's super easy to, you know, heat up, and it tasted good and it was healthy, and you can pause the subscription whenever. So I was like, perfect, like when I'm here. This is not sponsored, by the way. This is just, I'm genuinely enjoying the product, and it really helped us out in a pinch. So I had already ordered some food to come here in advance of us arriving, and then we arrived and don't have a car, and it's really been like a whole ordeal to get to the grocery store. There is somewhere I can go within walking distance. It's just like, it's what walking distance when you have a giant backpack full of groceries is slightly less fun. So it's actually been a really, really fantastic thing, kind of a lifesaver that I've gotten this Factor subscription. And then of course when it happened, I then reached back up to the brand and was like, hey, look, your food just saved my butt. Would you be interested in doing another sponsorship with me? Because boy howdy, do I have a good story. And they were like, yeah, they were all in. They said they're always looking for people who genuinely use and enjoy their products to, you know, endorse them. And that's definitely me. So there will be another sponsored segment from Factor on the main channel eventually, shortly. But yeah, so that's been great. So I have, we're set on food. We did borrow Tim's car because now he has a giant pickup. He was very excited about that. He has a Ford F-150 that he got for a banger price. And so we did bug him yesterday before Phil flew home to if he could take us to the hardware store, and just so we could get some blown in insulation, because that's what I'm going to work on in the coming weeks, is I'm going to be insulating the attic some more. So I do have 10 giant bales of insulation in the attic now that Tim helped us get. But other than that, I am without a car and not necessarily wanting to borrow one. These sheets for the most part are clean. I think I'm just going to take them outside and shake them off because they have a lot of the dog hair on them. And then once they are all free of dog hair, come back, make the bed. And hopefully by that point, the laundry is going to be done being washed, and then I can go do some dishes. Oi. Well, very fun and unexpected, although it probably shouldn't have been because I think I actually had the tracking number for it, but was about to go outside to shake my sheets out, and look what came in the mail. This is the base for my standing desk that I'm very excited about. I was actually going to talk about that in a minute. Yeah, we'll circle back around to this. First, let me shake out my sheets. I'm trying to stay on track here, people. Also, this is incredibly heavy. I have no idea how I'm gonna get this upstairs. Oh, good God. Good Lord. Could kill a corgi with one of those. All right, sheets time. And just like that, one set of clean sheets for the grand old price of free $99. Now, to be clear, that actually only works because the sheets were not actually dirty to begin with. They were only covered in corgi hair, and that is exactly the type of justification I would have had to do if this was on the main channel, but it's on my secondary channel. So y'all aren't a bunch of pedantic asshats. Oh, there. Corgi appearance number, although of course she's gonna have to get off because I have to make the bed in a second. That's not gonna work, honey. It's not gonna work. No, it's not gonna work. All right, I'm gonna start making my bed and try to remember what it was we were talking about. Who wants to take bets on if I'm gonna get this in the right orientation on the first go? Or if I'm gonna have to spin it around? That was actually one thing I absolutely loved about the Brooklinen sheets, was that they put little labels in here to tell you short side, long side. So silly, but also so incredibly useful. It's unbelievable. Ooh, looking so nice. So yeah, basically Phil is back in Montreal right now and got his eyes out trying to find a new matrix for me. We'd considered whether I should also fly back to Montreal, and that way I could help look for the car, but the reality of it is that I'm not really going to be nearly as useful there as I am here. So even stranded and without a car, I'm actually better off here. And like I said, I do have all those bales of insulation in the attic. So the good news for you is that means there's going to be a lot of attic antiques sorting in upcoming videos. I think that's going to be part of the fun autumn vibe on the channel soon. So those of you who are dying for a sneak peek at what's in my attic, you're going to get one sooner rather than later. Oh, but do I want to put the red one on? Yeah, I want to put the red one on. So as you can probably see, ooh, the lighting in here is horrible. This is the big struggle with filming this room. This lighting in here, so bad. But as you can see, I am using the same bed sheets that I did in my bedroom makeover. I'm still sticking with them. I am loving that color scheme. Although I have been pulling this lovely striped one out for the winter months. So while the weather is fresh enough that I could use it, I just want the look of the IKEA sheets for a little bit longer. So we're gonna put this one underneath, and then we're gonna put the blue one on top. And then there's one other one that we really don't need because that is very much a heavy winter layer and we don't need that yet. That one is gonna get folded up. Stripes go this way. So cozy. No buttons. Buttons. It's just such a cheerful, fun, whimsical color and pattern. I love it. I'm so happy with this. Huge fan of these IKEA sheets. Kind of sad that they're discontinued because honestly I would consider getting more, at least more pillowcases, because I feel like you wear through pillowcases faster than you wear through the rest. Case in point, I actually don't have the pillowcases because they are in the wash, because they were actually dirty. So I'm not crazy. The pillowcases really do wear out faster than the rest of it. But yeah, bed is almost completely made. Can't quite finish it until, like I said, the pillowcases come out of the dryer, which means it's probably time to actually go get them. However, I will fold up the last sheet first. The last blanket, it is a winter blanket, like I said. Came in very handy this winter because it was a little chilly in here. Ta-da! Appears to be a very handmade quilt. It's definitely got lots of handmade embroidery connecting all the various fabric pieces, and then it is also quilted by hand. Very, very cool. If you watched my moving day video, which I feel like a lot of you might have, but if you're newer to the channel, you might have missed it. It came out right before the house content, or at least it happened right before we went to the house. Actually, it did not come out right before the house content because, you know, the timelines of these things are all wonky, but basically we stayed in Montreal for moving day and picked up a bunch of stuff for free, which we then brought to the house. So the dishes that we're eating off of every day, we picked up for free. Someone was throwing them out in moving day. Also, some of the tools, some of the tape, a little bit of that kind of stuff. But that's exactly where this blanket came from. Somebody was throwing it away, and it is, I don't know, it's so lovely. Like, I just love the colors. They're like these wonderful cozy autumn colors, and it is handmade. Now, it does need some reparation. That's not the word in English. Some repairs. Does need some repairs on some of the embroidery, so that is like on the to-do list at some point, but not now. And also, the weather is not nearly cold enough to need this level of blanketage on the bed. So I'm gonna be folding this one up and putting it aside for the moment. But it is a nice lovely little blanket, and I will be sure to link that video. I'll throw it up in the description of this video, and maybe I'll try to link it at the bottom as well. So if you want to go watch my moving day video, it's super fun. If you haven't seen it, like, it talks about the history, like what is moving day, where are its origins, which actually went way further back than I thought. I really didn't know much about it until I did that video, and then I learned a lot about it, and it was really fun, but also super fun concept. Basically, like, something like half or over half of the city of Montreal moves all on the same day. All the leases change July 1st. Because why celebrate Canada Day when you could be moving? Hashtag Quebec. So we're almost done in the bedroom here. The only last thing that I have to do is I have to go around and pick up, I have all these like electronics laying around here because I don't have a good working station in the house in the moment, and that is actually also something that's gonna be coming up in a future video, is that right now my working space is like, sometimes I'm editing on my bed, sometimes I'm editing on the dining room table, but I don't have a great workplace. All my stuff is spread out all over, so unlike my external drives, of which I have a zillion, also check out the cute artwork on this. I've taken to identifying my external hard drives because they're all the same size, and I have so many that I have like 3 gray ones and 3 blue ones. I've been identifying them with these cute little stickers, and I think that one is so fun. So anyways, I've got these electronics like spread out all over the house. Anytime I sit down to edit, I'm like running around to grab stuff, and so I've decided I'm finally going to make like a little corner of this house into a workspace for myself. I was already thinking about doing it, and then FlexiDesk reached out to me. They're the brand that does a lot of standing tables, which I was thrilled to hear from them because, quite honestly, if you've seen, this is not meant to be a plug for all of my other videos, but if you've seen my tour of my sewing room back in Montreal, you'll know that I absolutely love working standing up. Big fan of it. So when they reached out with this desk that's like one of those adjustable height ones, you can sit at it, but you can also stand at it, I was like, this is maybe the sign that I've been waiting for to just finally commit to making a little editing niche for myself in my house. So I'm very excited about doing that. And then I can have all these stinking electronics like in one place, and I don't have to chase them down every time I want to clear off my SD card or something, because that happens several times a day. I have to clear off my SD card, and then I have to go like, okay, where's my computer? Where's the right external? It's a mess. So gonna grab all this up, and then also I realized I have enough of these little, what it is called, mats, rugs laying around my house that they also need to be washed because they are at this point quite filthy. So I'm gonna grab some of the small ones. We're gonna do a second load of laundry and yeah, change the washer into the dryer, put new stuff in the washer, and then maybe before I start actually washing them, we could go wash some dishes. We're slowly plowing through stuff for the day, guys. Where's everyone at? Where are you all at? Do you need to take a break? Stretch break, get up, get some water. If you're sewing or crafting, you know, do some dexterity exercises, all that stuff. Small little break, and then back at it. this is one thing that eventually gonna need to improve. It's very, very tight in this corner. Now that's because the washing machine is not actually supposed to live permanently here. It was just, this was the place that it made the most sense to hook it up. But it's gonna be here for the foreseeable future until we can get it back up in the upstairs bathroom. But that kind of needs a little miniature overhaul before that is realistically gonna happen. So for now, I'm stuck in this tiny little cubby. It's a little bit awkward, but we make do. Honestly, at this point, I'm just thrilled to have a washer and a dryer. Ooh, I hear something rattling around. Also, at some point, I'll probably just need to get flat out a new washer, because this one, it's quite old and it is working very well. Like, it is a workhorse, but it's also probably very, very inefficient in terms of water. So I don't know. It's hard to find that perfect balance between, like, I don't want to get rid of it when it's still in perfect working order, but also it is like very using a lot of water. So it's like, where's the ecological balance? There doesn't seem to be a very clear, obvious right answer in this case. So I think we're just gonna keep using it now. And we're not in a rush to get a new one necessarily, but like, our water bill is just gonna be higher than we would like. Okay, what is rattling? What is rattling? What fell out of my pockets? Oh, Exhibit A, a tiny pebble. Exhibit B, a little end cap thingy. I always forget what these are called. One of these guys. That's the other thing. It literally might not survive this renovation because, like, it is getting a bunch of pebbles and other gunk in there as part of the renovation process. Also, so much corgi hair. Trying to keep the corgi hair outside and not in the machine, but if you have a dog, you probably understand what a futile exercise that is. Oh, I've got one other mat in the... We're just gonna go around and grab all the towels too. Fun. Fun, fun, fun. I'll catch up with you in a sec. Gonna run around my house again. Okay, so the dryer is going. The washer is ready to go as soon as I'm done here with the dishes. And that actually shouldn't take too long. I don't have that many. Because dishes is one thing that Phil and I have actually been pretty good at keeping up on, in part because we don't have very many dishes. So we have to keep washing them if we want dishes to eat off of. But also, I don't know, for some reason we're just better at doing dishes. So the system we have going at the moment is we've got our plastic bin. Oh, this is gonna be a challenge. And we basically have just been stacking all of our dirty dishes in it. Like so. And yeah, then we just do the dishes kind of sometime before dinner. So breakfast and lunch goes in here, then they get washed before dinner, and then they go back in here, and then ideally they get washed after dinner as well, but sometimes we're too tired. So I don't know, we don't have a good system except for the fact that this bin system works really well because, I don't know, it's just like a more efficient use of our time and the hot water. So we wait till we have a whole bunch of dishes to wash, and they just live in here while we wait. And then when we do the dishes, we fill it up with hot water and wash them. And it's a system that's been working really well. So let's start some hot water running. So basically my agenda while I'm here is to do things that don't require the car. We're hoping Phil's going to be able to get back here, find a car and get back here in a week, so that I'm only kind of stranded here for a week before I get a car, but we're not sure. Could be 2 weeks. But I think I can definitely manage to fill my time, and I think you all are really going to enjoy it as well, because a lot of the things that I need to do are sorting antiques, sorting clothes, sorting things that have been left around the house, because they're things that kind of weren't deemed super essential to do right away. understandably so. But now that I'm stuck here without a car, and the only thing that I really have supplies to do is to insulate the attic, that means that I need to get access to the floorboards in the attic in order to do that. And what is blocking my access to the floorboards in the attic? A ton of antiques. So gonna be sorting through a whole heck of a lot of antiques. Gonna try and do some fun fall time activities while I'm here also. Yeah, just gonna have some fun around here and sort through some stuff. I've also got some bags of clothing that were left here, like several bags of clothing, and they seem to be in good shape. Like I'm wondering almost if she was had a clothing shop or something that she was running. I don't know, but there's like a lot of clothes. They could all be hers. I'm not sure. Like I said, I actually haven't dug into them yet. So that is coming up on the list of things to do. That's definitely probably going to be a second channel type video because I don't know if it's going to be entertaining enough for a main channel video. But the attic antiques are definitely something that's going on the main channel because everybody wants to see the antiques, including me. All right, let's start washing some dishes. I'll see you on the other side. We are doing a great job, guys. We are powering along, so let's take a second to cross that off our list. And then I think what I'm gonna do right now is, because I got quite a late start on the morning, is I'm gonna sit down and have some lunch, and then we can go take the corgi for a little walk. All right, I'm back. I have got a coffee made. We've got a tired corgi. I hope y'all had fun because we sure did. And now I think the next goal on the list is gonna be to tackle this room right here because this is the room that we spend the most downtime in. We are always in this room, and this table especially is always cluttered. It is always a chaos zone. It's kind of one of the only clean surfaces in the house, so it's a like big heavy landing zone for anything we don't want to get dirty. So gonna start by like just organizing everything. Nothing is dirty, it just needs to be organized and put away. But before I do that, I think I should actually get a before shot so that when I'm done, we can have an after shot, and then we can get the fun little dopamine hit of seeing the transformation. So I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna start cleaning. So this corner down here is mostly Phil's stuff. It's kind of like a pile of Phil's junk, but it's not all him to blame. There's some of my stuff on there, like I set my hooks and needles boxes on there because, I don't know, I brought them to the house thinking that I might want to work on them. They're like very small, manageable projects, and I'm not really in the mood to jump into the like big, elaborate winter knitting projects, like picking back up that gorgeous cable sweater I started last winter in the colorway Japanese maple. Gorgeous, and I am excited to pick it back up, but I think it's gonna be like my Christmas contract project. So these are like smaller, more manageable feeling projects, slash if I wanted to, I could teach myself how to crochet. So anyway, it's not all entirely Phil stuff. I am also to blame. But I think even if I am not going to get rid of any of it, I can at least make it look a little bit nicer. Like that's what this is all about, right? It's the aesthetics of it as much as it is the functionality. So these are all my neighbors' phone numbers. So they're going to go back up on the wall, but not while I'm filming because I don't need to give away their private information on the wild web. Also, I think I found the drawing that Phil made when he was like trying to calculate maybe how much PEX tubing we were gonna need for the plumbing. Not entirely sure, but we're gonna keep this. Huh. Wouldn't you know it, recycling day was literally yesterday, and now today I find our horde of cardboard boxes. Good reminder that I need to go buy some more dog food, lest Canel go hungry. Also, can we take a sec to look at how cute this desk is? This is one of the few furniture pieces that came with the house that I really, really like. It's all in wood. It's in pretty good shape, although it definitely does need some TLC. And it also looks like it used to be painted at one point in time, but has since been very painstakingly stripped back to the original wood. And I can tell that because there is a little bit of paint still really deep in the grain here. But I think it's absolutely adorable, and I would love to like give it some TLC at some point, just not anytime maybe in the near future, because I don't know if that's very high on the priority list, but it is freaking adorable and I love it, and it's a great, very practical addition to this room. This is definitely a surface that I feel like could also use a little bit of decoration TLC, because it does end up in the background of basically all of my shots, because we're so often in here, and yet it is literally just our coffee station. Like, it could probably be more attractive. So maybe at some point, if that could be a fun autumn project, is like just spookifying this a little bit or decorating it or something like that. I do think I saw some autumn decorations up somewhere in the attic. Like there's a few boxes of Christmas stuff, and I think there's a box of like October Halloween type stuff. So I should actually go digging around in there and see what I can find, because this would be a really cute place to have a little holiday cheer occasionally in my videos. But for now, it's just getting a basic cleaning, straightening up, all that kind of stuff. That's the aestheticness is gonna happen in a main channel video. Also, this surface is definitely gonna need some TLC at some point. I don't know if you watched the main channel video where I talk about how these are probably all marble under here, like this stunning, gorgeous black marble, which I don't know if I wanna bring it back to that, because like I can see why somebody painted it white. The black is very somber, and you know, so often all the rest of the trim is painted white. So I do understand why somebody painted it white, but like I can see where it's peeling up here. It does very much look like it is black under there. So I don't know, at some point I will do something with this surface, but again, add it to the list with all the other chores. I mean, it's not stunning, but it's better than it was before. That's what counts, right? Is that more aesthetic? I don't know, work in progress. We're gonna come back to this area. Why? Why? Please tell me why. I have nail clippers, hot sauce, dog leashes, and like tool parts all within literal centimeters of each other. It makes so little sense. I think I have a peanut butter problem. I have 3 different cans of peanut butter. Jars. These are jars. I have 3 different jars. That's because both Phil and I really like peanut butter, and also we use them to make some Kongs for Canel, some treats, which some of you very thoughtfully donated some Kongs, bought her some on the Amazon wish list, and at some point I absolutely am going to make up a Kong for her with a wish list Kong. But yeah, at the moment, just trying to clean. More electronics. Why so many electronics? Because I do YouTube, that's why. I know why. It's just so many electronics. This is a thrifted bed sheet that I picked up, I don't know, a couple of years ago, and I absolutely adored the colors, and now that it's officially fall, they're perfect. So I have been using this on and off as a tablecloth for this table because it's a very nice table and I want to keep it in good shape. So I know that tablecloths are not very popular among my generation, but I've been using them and honestly, kind of enjoying it. I will say though, it works less well when Phil is here because he is a little bit of a tornado of a human being, and things just get like slid around when he's here, and sometimes things hit the floor and go crashing. So I either need the little clips to hold it on, or I'd just don't use it as much when he's here. But now it's just me and I love the look, so we're using it. Look at this. This was something we found when we moved in. Their Royal Highnesses, the Prince and Princess of Wales, June 14th, 1983. How funny is that? This is by far not the oldest newspaper we found, but I thought it was so funny. It's like a whole thing. And then on the back here, it says, "On behalf of the government of Nova Scotia, I'm privileged to extend a warm welcome to their Royal Highnesses, the Prince and Princess of Wales, at the start of their 1983 Canadian tour. It is with great pride and deep affection that we, in this historic province, offer our special greetings to their Royal Highnesses. There are no more subjects more devoted to the crown or more loyal to the sovereign than the people of Nova Scotia. Signed, John Buchanan." Apparently, they had a Canadian tour here, and it was, you know, obviously a big deal. Oh, Princess Di, the people's princess. I guess I don't know what to do with this. Like, I'll guess I'll keep it, but keep it to do what with it? All right, I know I said earlier that it wasn't dirty, it was just unorganized, but I take it back. It turns out it was in fact very dirty. So I'm gonna go rinse this out, and I think I've probably got another washcloth's worth of emptying out surfaces, and then I can start putting stuff back, and then we are closing in on done, which is good because feel like I've been washing this room and cleaning it for like a full day, and it's only probably been an hour or two. I found this little guy. Look at, he's so cute. Little lobster. It says Nova Scotia on him. This was a housewarming present that we found on our kitchen table when we walked in. Our realtor had left it for us. I think I have a photo somewhere. Probably right here if I have it. It's this little guy and a 6-pack of ciders because he knows that we both like ciders, and that was just a fun little housewarming gift. And for the longest time I had this sitting here on the corner of the mantle, and then things got dirty and I kind of put him away and he fell back behind here and I forgot about him, but I think it's time to whip him back out, especially because he coordinates really well with all my Tim Hortons paraphernalia. Getting uber Canadian up in here, what can I say? All right, well friends, I think that is it. I'm done with this room, which means it is time for some very rewarding before after shots. So if you want to pause and take a look, here is the satisfaction, the big payoff, the befores and the afters. Roll the clips. Plus, also, you know what that means? It means that we get to check one more item off of our list. So I think the next thing I want to do, last thing for today and last thing for this video probably, is let's go get those clothes that are ready in the dryer and go fold them up and have one last fun little chat. So again, if you need a stretch break, if you need a pee break, anything like that, go ahead and take it now. If you want to check in and let me know how far you're going, head down to the comments. Let me know where you're at so far. We've still got another section of this video to go. You've still got one more section to work. So one last thing, let's wrap it up. All right, friends, here we are in this lovely room, which is getting some absolutely lovely light at the moment. This is in the evenings or the late afternoons. This is my favorite part of the house because we've got these giant bay windows behind you. They are letting in a stunning amount of light. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Plus, you know, I've got the fun couch going on back there, and yeah, actually got a lot of stuff going on back there. Over here I've got the rug that is probably gonna go upstairs in my office. I guess we'll call it my office. Never thought I'd be the type of person to say I have an office, but apparently I need one. So that we picked up at Value Village for, I don't know how much. I'll flash the price up here once I get up and check the price tag, but it was less than $15 for this fairly cute, fairly long shag looking rug in a very neutralish color. So I saw that and I grabbed it, and this was like months ago in the spring. So it is nice to finally have a place to use it. I think it's gonna be really cute. I'm looking forward to having another space to low-key decorate. I'm not going to be doing anything too fancy. I'm not going to be painting walls or anything. I'm just going to be cleaning out a room and setting up a place to work, to edit all my videos, to send emails from, that sort of stuff. Oh, here are our pillowcases. Those don't need to be folded. They're just going straight on the bed. And some hot pads. Desperately need some more, well, all sorts of like kitchen linens, but definitely some more of these guys. I had one viewer sent me some that they crocheted. I think I have them in my suitcase over here, but I'm not gonna go get them out quite yet. But I definitely do need some, especially the insulated kind that I can reach into the oven with, because right now I don't have, that's literally all I have are those two, and one of them is not properly insulated. So I almost burn my hand every time I use it. So that's gonna be up on the list to make some more of those. Also, update on the car situation. Phil has texted me and said that he maybe has found an option. It is proving annoyingly difficult to find one that has the larger motor. They are not very common. The standard base model is the 1.8 smaller motor. So he thinks he has found one. The price is, well, not great, honestly. I can't really afford to spend any money on a car right now, but don't have a choice. So the price is okay. For what it is, it's a fair price. Some socks. These are my Icelandic socks sent to me by a patron member. They're from Iceland. She's from Iceland. They're very cute. They've got the lighthouse on one side. Very Maritimes, I must say, and then the little puffins on the other. Thought that was super cute. And I've been using them around the house, so thank you so much for them if you happen to be watching this. Also, as you can see in this camera, I've got my lovely spinning wheel sitting here. Just this room is all just vibes between the gorgeous couch behind me and the spinning wheel and these absolutely ridiculous purple, pink lampshades that are so oversized. Oh, that's another pillowcase. Uh-oh, we've lost some socks. Would it really be laundry day if I didn't lose some socks? Oh, no, here we go. I read somewhere once that every sock you lose in the dryer gets reincarnated as a Tupperware lid that doesn't have a Tupperware to go with it. And I thought that was pretty funny because those are some universal truths. You always lose socks in the dryer and you never have the same number of lids as you do bases. All right, well, that is all of my laundry stacked up here. We're gonna do one last thing for the outro, and that is that we are gonna go upstairs and put these pillowcases on the bed so that my bed is officially made. That's gonna be the last thing. So as I'm going upstairs and doing this, let me know, did you accomplish everything that you wanted to accomplish today? Did you check some stuff off of your list? Was hanging out with me useful to you? All right, let's head upstairs and finish making a bed. Oh. You see,